I think LinkedIn is too happy. There is an ugly truth that we are not talking enough about. Did you know that in 2024, layoffs in pharma surged by 281%? And so far this year, over 4,000 biotech and pharma workers have lost their jobs. We keep acting shocked, workers are devastated, and meanwhile, companies say nothing. They pretend it's not happening, and we all move on, hoping we're not next. But this isn't random. This is systemic. Here's the cold reality. A company has to be profitable to exist. That's not cynical, it's math. In manufacturing, you make a product. To survive, you have to sell that product for more than what it costs to make. So in life sciences, it's the same thing, only the product is a therapy, a drug, or diagnostic. And every penny it takes to produce it must be paid, eventually, by the patient. So if you can't cover your costs, you go out of business. And so what do companies do when they're in trouble? They cut costs. And if you're a decision maker, here's what you see. Raw materials, fixed cost. Equipment, fixed cost. Licensing fees, fixed costs. Workforce. Oh, now that's a variable. So you cut the workforce. It's simple, cold, clean. And yet, it is also dangerous because layoffs don't fix anything. Look, problematic people get fired. That's different. Layoffs, they punish the innocent. They're indiscriminate. Some of the most brilliant, hardworking, high-potential talent that I know of has been laid off. Why? Because someone 8 levels removed from the shop floor looked at a spreadsheet and thought, well, we got to do more with less. Now here's a reality check. Let's say you have 5 people and you laid off 2. Now you got 3 people doing the work of 5. And they will be told, work smarter, not harder. Be more efficient and step up. But if you change nothing else, no systems, no tooling, no support, no leadership, those 3 people have been set up to fail. Because maybe in the short term they could stretch. They'll grind, pull long days. But here's what happens next. They burn out, they make more mistakes, which increase your costs, not lower them. Your quality slips, your compliance risk grows, and eventually your best people, the ones you need most, quit. Because they can. Talented employees don't stay in survival mode forever. Or if they do decide to stay, they are just trying to make it through the day. And there is a 0 chance of innovation, improvement, or fresh ideas coming from the overworked, exhausted workforce. And this is the core issue most leaders miss. Employee effectiveness is a function of the tools they are given. I'll be honest. 5 years ago, I was a pretty inefficient employee. Not because I wasn't trying. I promise I was working really hard. But by today's standards, I wouldn't be considered extremely productive. Now, why is that? Well, it's because I didn't have the right systems, tools, or digital infrastructure in place. And I hope that 5 years from now, when I look back on this version of me today, I'm going to think, wow, Amy of 2025 still had a long way to go. Because again, your team's productivity is directly proportional to how digitally mature their environment is. So here's what I am begging you. If you're an executive and you're seeing that layoffs are on the horizon, stop, pause, and ask yourself, is your problem really your people? Or is it that your cost structure is unsustainable? Instead of gutting your workforce, you should focus on digital transformation. If done right, it's not expensive. In fact, it is literally the only thing that you can afford to do right now. Because when it works, it more than pays for itself. So here's how to start. First, get help. If you knew how to fix it, you would have already. So find someone who's done this before, someone who can help you spot what's missing and figure out what actually works. Just make sure that whoever you get to help you cares about adding value, not just making money. Second, do an internal assessment. And I'm not talking like a 10-month, six-figure consulting engagement. No, I'm talking about a targeted effort, just a few weeks to figure out what's working, what's not, where do we need to go next. Third, start small. Protect yourself. Take what you learned from that assessment and run a small proof of concept, one that solves a real business problem and one that delivers real measurable value. And then iterate, week by week, learn, evolve, and improve. And through this process, you're going to transform both your tech and your leadership. It's not either or, it's that combination which drives long-term change. And if you do that, you will stop chasing short-term cost cuts and start growing profit and resilience. Because your goal should be to become a digital company, one that is always adapting to new tools, one that can thrive in a constantly shifting landscape. Because here's another cold truth, especially in the US, every 4 years, the rules change. New administration, new manufacturing policy, new regulatory priorities. You can't rely on the environment to stay stable. You can only control your resilience. If you want to know more about digital transformation, I recommend checking out this video. But for now, let's stop pretending layoffs are a strategy. Let's stop pretending everything is going great, because it's not. You don't cut your workforce when everything is going well. Layoffs are a symptom, not a solution. If you want to fix what's actually broken, here's what to do. First, start with digital transformation. It's not a luxury, it's a necessity. And two, be vocal about your real needs. If you're a company that is struggling, I promise, posting corporate fluff is not serving your employees. That's the part of LinkedIn that I find completely useless, the too happy tone. Especially when social media could be such a powerful tool for solving real problems. We would all benefit so much more if we built a culture where we stop posting generic nonsense and start talking honestly about what's actually broken. If your employees are stuck doing something manual and painful, say so. Hey, our team is spending 20 hours a week on manual documentation. Does anyone know a compliant way to automate this? That's the kind of discussions that I want to see more of from the life science community. Because for all you know, someone has already solved it. And if not, vendors now know that there is a need. You won't discover better solutions unless you ask for them, and vendors won't build better solutions unless you demand them. So, start demanding open solutions. Solutions that give you full access to your data so you can plug it into your digital infrastructure. And so, to every manufacturer out there, if you're serious about building a more resilient, more profitable, more people-first business, start first with pursuing digital transformation, and two, speak up about what's broken. Because at the end of the day, you are the only one with the power to grow our industry.